So let's talk about the skinny fat trap. Most people fall into this once they've broken past the snapback effect, which is when those first few habits that you're trying to build start breaking down and it pulls you back into your old way of lifestyle. So first of all, even if you are experiencing that skinny fat look at the moment, congratulations, you've done enough so far to actually make a form of progress and start building a good habit. Normally what happens here, when people are losing weight in the beginning, they start doing lots and lots of cardio, doing big calorie deficits, and that's what starts to make the needle move down. They're seeing the weight on the scales come down and they're seeing their waistlines come in. Although you may now be at the weight or your ideal weight that you want to be at, you're noticing that you don't look as good as you thought you might look. So you're standing in the mirror and you've got that stubborn fat just around the stomach, or it's not looking as toned as you was hoping that it would look, and you're kind of scratching your head as you don't really know what to do. Now the skinny fat trap is when people see this and they start to double down on what they've done before, thinking they had results doing what they did beforehand and they just need to do more of that to get the result they're looking for. However, one thing you have to understand is what got you to where you are now won't get you to that next level. Normally this is between the 20 and 15% body fat percentage range. That's when this kind of struggle really starts to kick in, and then people end up doing even more cardio. They start doing a lot more of their calorie restrictions. They're restricting the calories even more than what they were doing, and the energy levels start to suffer. More sessions start creeping in. It becomes that more is better mentality. The problem with that is that if more was better, then why stop at training 3 days a week, 4, 5, 6, or even 7 days a week? Why stop training at an hour? Why not do 2, 3? Why stop training at all if more was better when really it isn't? And so what I'm about to tell you is going to help you build that stronger physique, help you bring in that stomach and get rid of some of that excess fat that you may still be carrying. And it's going to involve a bit of a change. It might feel unnatural in the beginning, and that's okay. I'm just going to ask you to try and stick with it, and within a month's time you should start to notice some differences. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is food related. You're going to go back to MyFitnessPal and you're going to start retracking if you've stopped, or if you've continued on tracking, continue on. I want you to look at your macros, your carbs, fats and proteins, and to see what that split is. Now normally when people do a calorie deficit, they reduce all of their food, but not all of their food is created equal. Some food is better than others to keep around, and so you want that calorie deficit to come from carbs and fats, but you want that protein intake to go up. So that might be your first challenge. The way to work this out, if you're not too sure what your protein intake is, then I would recommend going and checking out this video here. I did it recently and it will help you, talk you through exactly what you need to do to make sure you are eating the right amount of protein for your body type. The next thing that I'm going to ask you to do is you might actually be overtraining. So doing all of this cardio, doing all of this high intensity interval training that you might be doing, it might be too taxing on your nervous system and you're not getting enough recovery. So your nervous system's hit, it's not being able to recover from the last session that you did, and you're just grinding away more at your joints than anything else, and it's actually affecting you in a more negative way. And if you want to see what that can look like, especially if you're trying to emulate a celebrity or athlete workout that you've seen, it might actually be impacting you in a negative way because your body types don't match what theirs is. And if you want to know more about what your body type can do, I did a full video on genetic potential, which you can find right here. But these are the things you need to look at, and you might need to include a few more rest days. If you're doing any more than 3 days a week, I would say start bringing it down immediately. And the final thing you might want to be looking at is including some strength training, doing some sessions where there is no cardio, where there is no high intensity interval, and actually dealing with some heavier weights and doing it in a slow and controlled way that's going to help you build muscle, build strength. That compared with the rest, where your body's going to recover and rebuild, and the protein, the resource, the valuable resource that's going to help build your body to be what you want it to be, is all going to come together and help you overcome that skinny fat trap, especially around the stomach. Because what most people do, they bring their weight down, they bring their body fat down, but the missing part is they're just not building the muscle up underneath. So you might already have a great foundation, it just needs to be broken through a little bit more. If you're looking for a way to build that muscle in a stronger way and you're looking for more information, I've also done another video on that, and you can check that out right here as well. If you've been stuck in the skinny fat trap for a little while now, it may take longer because your body's going to have to do a lot more recovery, a lot more repairing, just to overcome some of the stress that's been put on it from what you've been doing previously. You might even have to increase your calories because you've under-eaten for so long, and you may notice that your weight going back up, and that's okay. The main thing is it's looking at making sure it's the right weight that's going on. So not all weight is created equal, so start taking waistline measurements, checking your waistline, and then if you're jumping on the scale and you're seeing your weight going up but your waistline is coming in, that's letting you know that it's the body fat that's disappearing and you're building more muscle. Please drop your comments, queries and questions below. I want to hear from you. What are your challenges with your skinny fat trap? What other things are you doing that you feel like might not be working for you? And as always, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.